This is Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast. Your way of tapping into the Force from a galaxy far, far away. Hello there.
Hello, what have we here? Here's where the fun begins.
Count me in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast. Our coverage of Skeleton Crew continues today in our penultimate episode on it. We've only got 2 episodes remaining after this week, and I'm very, very excited. I love what we're doing. I love where we're heading. Today we are discussing Season 1, Episodes 5 and 6. Those are You Have a Lot to Learn About Pirates, which originally aired on Christmas Eve, written by Myung-Jo Wesner and directed by Jake Schreier. And Episode 6 is Zero Friends Again, originally premiering on New Year's Eve, written by Myung-Jo Wesner and directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Ooh.
I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. Happy New Year, buddy.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Always a pleasure to be here, as well, as always.
And it's always a pleasure to have you. We got a couple goodies again. We got a couple goodies. Probably the best pair of episodes in terms of like going together since the first 2. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely very true. Yeah, coming. I don't know. I just got very fresh out of a little rewatch of both of them, and yeah, they played perfectly. I mean, honestly, there was barely a time jump, I guess, before the start of the second episode, because I kind of wanted to see maybe what was going on more in the little vault or the lair room, what Jod was up to, and I know the kids just falling out of the tubes, but no, I mean, yeah, it's just right into it, and yeah, I don't know, I think they did work really, really well, and I guess it's honestly a little too quick. The second
100%.
episode, like, especially, it's 32 minutes versus the episode 5, I think, was like 42 or somewhere in the 40s. I'm pretty sure it's like a whole 10 minutes kind of shaved off of even the 6th episode too. And I don't know, maybe not just time wise, but I mean, it's kind of just bang.
No,
bang,
the
bang.
story's way too fast. It's like to its detriment. Like, it's a cute show and I'm having a good time and I'm liking it a lot. But it's a show that is designed to have at least 20-minute episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a fucking television series that they are not like, this is supposed to have filler episodes.
Yeah.
A quote-unquote filler, if you will. Like, it's supposed to have like these things that just spring up on us. Did you have any inkling in previous episodes that KB was starting to get fed up with Fern? Like, at all?
Nope.
No. That's something that an entire filler episode would be dedicated to. You know what I'm saying? That is something that an entire filler episode would be dedicated to, it building up and mounting and them coming to blows at the end of it, instead of it being really quick at the beginning of an episode and them dealing with it separately. Like, it's I like it. I think it's cute. I think it worked a lot in terms of the exploring those characters to a degree, but it felt, I felt this way multiple times now, where I'm like, oh, we are ending in a place or we're starting in a place even that I had no idea we were even nearing, you know?
Yeah.
I feel good about my general perception of Jod. Going into the last couple weeks. There was a couple weeks ago after episode 4, there was a bunch of, big Star Wars outlets and accounts like, oh, Jod is becoming the Found Father. And I was like, no, he's not. Like, that's definitely not. He could eventually, but he's not there. Just because he's there to save them doesn't mean that he's like there because of them. Like, it's gonna help him. But holding a knife to Fern's throat's definitely a villainous characteristic, I would say.
No, that's your dad never held a knife at your throat whenever you were
not my throat. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, I've never quite seen him as the filling in that role at all. It's like, even just like a worrisome protector. Like, and protector is even a bit like, I don't know, giving him more than he kind of deserves a little bit. Like, he still hasn't had that moment of like truly doing something for the kids, like, or like truly doing something out of his own self-interest. Like, he's still just trying to get to At Attin, and like and now he's just literally trying to not die, and like just kind of, I don't know, escape these pirates. But I mean, the KB stuff, I mean, yeah, it was super quick, and I'm glad we got a chance to like put her in a spotlight and get an episode for her, because I mean, the scenes with her were really strong, I think, here. But like, it would have been really nice to have that feud build up a little bit more, make this split up make a little bit more sense, because it was kind of like, okay, like, you kind of did get real pissed out of nowhere, and maybe I don't know, she's not the, you know, not the most
she's
human
not the expressive
anymore,
type.
I guess.
Yeah, not the expressive type. But even so, regardless, like, and I appreciated what it did within this episode, the commentary on how I can't do everything, and she's not, you know, like, and Wim being the sweetheart, like, yeah, you can, and she's like, no, I literally can't. Like, that's it's just a fact of the reality. And I really appreciated that commentary, just as far as it breaches, you know, real world disabilities and stuff. Like, yeah, anything is possible, but there are some things some people just cannot do, you know, like it's, and it's not, for a lack of wanting to, or, laziness or anything like that. It's a literal physical capability, you know, and, I loved the exploration of that in KB in episode 6. I thought that she was, we've obviously been building to something with her in terms of this lingering dread of whenever her physical, maladies were going to catch up to us, you know, because we got like little mentions here and there where her parents were like, oh, she needs her medication or else things aren't going to go good, and you know, like all that stuff. And I'm glad we got to see Wim kind of have one-on-one time with her, you know, them become friends on their own, while Fern and Neil become friends on their own, and it's no longer cliquey and all that stuff. I liked that a lot. I did like that.
Yeah, I don't know, her calling him Jedi at the end, you know, like, thanks, you know, you'd probably think saving someone's life would be a little more
exciting.
Exciting than that. And then Wim, like, realizing, like, oh my god,
you definitely did not sell it like you were about to die. Yeah.
And hey, I mean, good on her, you know, keeping him calm. I think Wim definitely would have freaked out and not have done what he was doing. But I think like, it feels like her calling him Jedi at the end there, like, she just knows, I don't know, she's so like unexpressive, but knows kind of like the perfect thing to say, even though like, I don't know, for the time. And I don't know, it was just, I thought that scene was just perfect for the episode, like him kind of just putting, I don't know, a little mold in the sand, and how like KB's like actually moving slow, like actually like the performance for that I thought was like really good. Like, even her,
I agree.
Initially, like whenever they first fall out of the tubes, and then they come over and like, KB, are you okay? And then like Fern's like, oh yeah, like her servos are just
gotta
like,
roll her over,
we gotta roll her, and she's like, like she's like confirming that that's what it is, but that's all she can like say and get out at the time. I don't know, I thought it's good. I thought it was,
and like the actual imagery, the VFX of the opening of the back of her head and stuff like that was really, really sweet. So yeah, like there's like, I know I came on pretty strong with my the stuff I'm not loving about the show, but overall I am still having a good time. I just, you know, it's like every Star Wars show besides Andor for me. It could undoubtedly be better, you know, like, it's just, and I don't hate that that's where we're at. Obviously, most shows could be better. That's just a fact of making art. Like, you're not going to make something perfect, but I don't
do
know.
Andor again. You know, I mean, like, that's it's just impossible. I don't know, but I feel like,
and that's the thing though, is that there are things that even Andor could improve on, but that's not necessarily what I'm getting at. It's not that, like, it's the fact that all of them are underwhelming in the same way that annoys me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the format. It's not allowing yourself to explore these stories. Like, there's like you said with the runtime thing, I think it's cool that this provides the difference in runtime provides a freedom to a degree for creatives, but discipline and structure is also really important when you're finding a rhythm for a TV show. Like, that's, if they had set runtimes, they would fit like the narrative would unfold in a way it's expressly designed to, not just the way it happens to unfold. You know, like it's a, I don't know. It's a little weird, and I don't want to be too hard on it because, like I said, I do still ultimately really enjoy it. But I think all the Star Wars shows, if they suffer from anything, it's the same thing. It's that lack of structure. It's that sort of just going with the flow, you know, and that's why Andor stands out, because it's got three episode arcs, and they're designed like that, like it. And I don't want to glaze Andor too hard, because season one of The Mandalorian, you know, it was more adventure of the week, and it was, you know, here we are, we're building this relationship. It's all like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know if I'm being nitpicky or if I've just soured on, I don't know, modern streaming television filmmaking, because I don't know, like, there are some standout parts, and Bryce Dallas Howard does a really, really good job. I thought that episode 6 looked really good, like standout good, like so far, like even its companion episode 5 doesn't even look as close to as good as it, in my opinion. Just from what I remember. So like it's bizarre. There's the good, there's the bad. It's just a fact of TV at this point, but I don't know. I feel like I'm being a negative Nancy, but I don't know. No,
there's some truth to it, cuz I mean every single time that maybe it was more of a Marvel TV show thing, but I feel like it was said in many of the Disney shows that we've watched, is like, we have 2 episodes left. How the fuck are they going to finish this show in 2 episodes? And they seem to always do it. You know, I feel like we always say that. You know, by the finale, we're like, oh, okay, well, that's how they did it. But it feels...
But usually we get to that point and we're like, oh, okay, well, that's how they did it. You know, like, that's typically what it feels like. Now, this show, it feels like a shoo-in to get more than 1 season. I don't think we're going to... I don't think we're going to end this narrative in a way that's like, okay, well, that's clearly that, and if they want to do a second season, they can. I think we are going to end this a little closer to The Acolyte than we are The Mandalorian Season 1. You know, or not The Mandalorian Season 1, because that obviously had a little bit of a cliffhanger. But Mandalorian Season 2, that should have been the end. You know, like that's an ending. That is an ending of a show, and they decided they could keep it going. You know, like that's... Yeah. I think we're barreling towards something more like The Acolyte than The Mandalorian Season 2, you know?
Yeah, and I think, at least, I don't know if initially, whenever The Acolyte did come out, did they say it was going to be multiple seasons, or...
Oh, dropped the call, everybody. Sorry about that. That's weird. Gonna go ahead and call him back. Sorry about that. I guess we dropped a call there.
All good. I don't know. I did move my phone. I might have just accidentally hit but my screen wasn't on, so I don't know. I guess.
It happens. I didn't stop recording or anything, so okay. I explained the situation to the listener, as it were. But okay. Yeah.
But I guess I was asking if when The Acolyte came out, did they say, was it just here's The Acolyte? No, for future plans on season 2, but
no, they never promised anything, or were like, there's going to be a season 2 if all goes well, you know, like, but that's, there have been reports that they want Skeleton Crew to run for a couple seasons, you know, but I don't know. That's just like, when it comes to streaming, it's just so unreliable, you know, it doesn't matter, because the benefit of a streaming show being an absolute hit is so intangible. It's there's no way to directly correlate success for your streaming platform with one TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it is just, I feel like just too many eggs in too many baskets. You know, they're just hoping one of them hits really well, and they're like, all right, we'll stick with that one and make it for as long as we can. And they did that with Mandalorian. It just kind of worked because it was the first one, and then they kept going, and then it wasn't that great anymore near the end. And I don't know,
there was an article I think it was last week or the week before, since our last Fulcrum episode, where I can't remember if it was a Lucasfilm exec or if it was a Disney exec, but they were asked expressly why they canceled The Acolyte. Why did you cancel The Acolyte? And they said it cost too much to make for the reward they were going to get in return.
Okay.
It's like, okay, then make it for less. You know, like,
Yeah.
what do you mean it's going to cost too much? Everything costs too much to make. It's streaming. You know, like, I don't know. I guess I can't wrap my head around this as a business model. I've never been able to wrap my head around it as a business model. So anytime businesses are like, well, we had to make a business decision, I'm like, that's fucking stupid. No, like,
yeah, it's just not about the content anymore. It's just, I mean, at least I think that a business person would at least think, well, if the content is better, then it theoretically should sell better and do better. But I don't think I think in the front of their heads is, how can we make the cheapest show as possible, make the most money as possible? And that, instead of, I don't know, just actually
well, you
going
would think
out there.
so, but then it's like I'm glad whenever creatives can bamboozle companies into giving them a ton of fucking money to do something that they want to do. I never blame the creative for that. I do blame businesses for that because it's fucking stupid and it causes them to not want to do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, Andor season 2, and this is also, you know, COVID budget and COVID budgeting always, and strike budgeting, or it was strike budgeting. They had to, you know, pay people through the strikes and stuff. It's going to cost like almost $300 million to make that second season of television.
Ooh, man.
Luckily, they were like, it's going to be 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they were going to set out to do. They don't have to live up to anything. They just got carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they wanted and get $300 million to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can't be sound business. You know, like, I don't care. I'm so happy Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna got that out of Lucasfilm, got that out of Disney, you know? But then The Acolyte cost over $200 million to make. And they're like, well, we're not getting any tangible results. It's like, what are tangible results? What is that? I don't know. It's, just the whole streaming model always confuses me, just on pretty much all fronts, because I think it lacks structure. They encourage this shorter. Yeah. For some reason, everything is short form now.
6 episodes. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bad Batch. Animation, you know? I guess well, don't have a bad thing really to say.
Really?
Over there.
It's a fucking miracle we got 3 seasons of The Bad Batch. I have no idea how we got that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so incredibly thankful that Lucasfilm never canned that. How on earth?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Is the animation studio just actually a different physical place where none of the film people ever go, and it's just these, you know, like actual good I don't know. It's just I don't know.
But all that aside, sorry to go on the rant about the bi-weekly rant at this point about the way Lucasfilm and Disney is ran, but I am really, really ultimately quite enjoying the show. I think it's adorable. I think it's very, very cute. And there's obvious inspirations, you know, from Goonies and that Amblin, you know, E.T. sort of stuff that they got going on. And episode 5, I think, kind of lived up to that in a way that the prior episodes hadn't really. You know, I think Peter Pan is obviously also a pretty massive influence on this story. Just the kids flying away, and you know, it's their Neverland and all that good stuff. But I don't.
Them finding that layer down there. I mean, just going through the classic booby traps, you know, the laser, you know, but Star Wars esquified or, you know, modified with a laser decap and and little. I mean, the gravity spike on the roof or whatever. Sick. You know, that was kind of crazy. And I don't know.
Catholips.
That's true. I
gotta love Catholips.
I wonder. You know, is that did they find? I don't know. I guess I just watched this. I can't believe I can't remember. Because he just smashes the ground to let them into that, like, secret tunnel. Did they find, like, did they know that was the entrance and they told him, like, hey, can you just smash this? Or did he know that, like, this is where the entrance is? And, like, he's just kind of the one guarding it.
I'm pretty sure they told him. They were like, well, we need to get down there. because they found the sign there and stuff. Like they knew that
there was the symbol.
There.
There was like a symbol on there. Okay,
the symbol was
right.
on the top.
Okay, that's what I didn't know. That's what I couldn't remember for whatever reason. If there was like a sign that was like, oh yeah, this is...
it's I love that stuff, man. I thought it was real cute. But yeah, the what is it, Tad Rennock?
Yeah, I think the old. I wonder how old. This is a song he's sung in Legends. I guess every pirate knows about him. But I mean, it was definitely before this pleasure. What planet? I don't know. Was made. So
erected.
I guess yeah, that's. I mean, did they use his loot? I mean, there's so much gold everywhere. I was wondering if they're slowly just taking I don't know if they know about the lair as well. And because they did say that there was an economic summit happening and the banking clan was there.
Yeah, the Muns. We saw a couple of them in the fucking mud baths.
And I mean, it could just be people come here for pleasure. It makes a whole shit ton of money, and the banking clan is just very, they're in it on that. But I wonder if there's my brain always just tries to love to connect everything, and it was if At Attin is the last mint for these Old Republic credits, do they still need the material in which to make it, and does that come from off planet, and is it just a slow siphon from all this gold that in this layer that they're just slowly taken out over time? It's kind of like a control on diamonds sort of thing where we actually have a shit ton, but we only let out a little bit at a time. And I don't know. I don't think the At Attin connection is really there, the gold, whatever. But I think
because that would require that Tad Rennock didn't discover treasure. He brought treasure, and then it became, because my working theory now is that Tad Rennock is the supervisor. They never specify that his body is found on the ship, and it appears to be a crash landing and sort of a mutiny and all that good stuff. I think that my theory now is that Tad Rennock got greedy, locked his fucking crewmates in there after hiding the ship, and then went and basically killed the supervisor and became the supervisor. He's the man behind the curtain.
Damn, what's more treasure than leading a whole planet? Yeah, I mean, that, okay. And, well, maybe not even just the one. Maybe that statue that was destroyed is him, too. And that's I mean, it was what other figure could they show that's oh yeah, that's who that statue is? That kind of.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that he came there with 33. So it's not that he's the origin of all this. He can't be. It's the Old Republic. It's and I guess we don't know when that happened. That could be an Old Republic story. SM-33 could be that old. But
when, I mean,
I think that the shit we see in the lair of him projected and stuff is there's probably some sort of consciousness thing where it's his and he's leading. He is the supervisor, and it's kind of a melding of droid mind and his mind and all that good stuff. And I don't know. That's because right now there's not a solid whoa or a payoff to what the supervisor is. Aside from that guy,
Okay, I like that. The reason I laughed there was because I thought of the little rat that hangs out in his head. If that's if that is truly
Tad Rennock.
That's Tad Rennock there. He put his consciousness in the rat. Can't put it in a droid. Can't. I don't know that. I feel like Star Wars would have done I don't know. Has that ever even come up in Star Wars of someone putting their consciousness into a robot or into anything?
They've done the whole.
Oh, Palpatine, I guess.
Palpatine, but that's dark science stuff. The closest we've gotten is maybe it's the final form of whatever General Grievous was going to do. Turning himself into a droid so that he lives forever. What if Tad Rennock actually kind of pulled that off?
Yeah, because I feel 33, at least it'd be kind of cool if he eventually like figures out that he is Tad Rennock, or like the memories he has aren't actually him just like sticking on, like maybe he just stayed on the ship the whole time, or I don't know. I guess he's a real physical droid. It feels like he did do a lot of the shit he's talking about. Like they were just going around pillaging and just going crazy. But
yeah, that's why I'm like, with 33, I think he obviously possesses a lot of the secrets in his memory banks, and like he has the answers we're looking for, but I don't think he is the answers, you know what I'm saying? Like
Okay. Yeah, and is it like Jod's dad or some shit,
Yeah, like,
or I don't know, like left him while he was young, and he was a super pirate, and Jod's just been chasing the dream ever since, trying to be like dad. But
and then that goes back to how old's the story of Tad Rennock, like that song they're singing. They all know the fucking lyrics.
Oh, and it sounded so cool. Like I want the full version. I want like I don't know,
the whole sea shanty.
The shanty. Yes, I need a Star Wars
space sea shanty.
Star Wars sea space. Wow, that is not easy to say.
Star Wars space shanty.
Space, yeah, shanty. I don't know. That just
great word.
Shanty.
Great word.
But man, yeah, no, this I need to hear it sung eventually, and maybe it just plays over the horns of the new Onyx Sender.
At Attin he did plunder.
Yeah. Yeah, good old Bermuda Triangle. He just blipped away. Poof, gone. And I like that a lot more. All the crew's just dead, but he actually stayed on to lead kind of everyone. And ooh, I mean, if 33 was like part of his crew, he saw how like droids could really control shit or like have shit on lock, and maybe that's why he has all the security droids. I mean, they do look a little bit like 33, but just kind of futuristic versions of him. And yeah, I don't know, I like that a whole lot more of him just kind of laying on At Attin, and like, I mean, yeah, you could have, I mean, he'd had infinite money. I mean, as the kids say, you can just make infinite money. What is that? Like, what's that about? But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's also just fun to watch kids understand these things, or like they're very self-aware that the kids wouldn't know. Like KB is like, yeah, Fern, sometimes she's not on the same planet or something like that. And Wim is like, yeah, what does that even mean? He's like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're saying. And she's like, oh, well, I can't. That's when she gets into her I can't do everything like I used to and stuff. And man, yeah, I guess I didn't think.
And ever since the accident and all that, that's a sad revelation.
And to see like how much of her head was like really replaced,
hollowed out.
Yeah, like that's like, man, I didn't think of her as like that tech or that much of a droid.
Yeah, that much.
I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was just kind of, I don't know. I just was just feeling bad for her, and then having the kind of like Tony Stark, like I don't know. I think it was Palladium for him, where he had to just take him out. And they got like charred or whatever, and just kind of having to do it, and that's what keeps her running. But I mean, she sprung right back up. It was like, boom, new battery.
Another great physical performance is when she's like slumped over.
Yeah,
loved that. Loved
Rebooting. That. Yeah, I don't know. KB definitely was the highlight of episode 6. I think I gave her both the performance and the character. Kiriana, maybe Kiriana, I think. Crater. If I'm saying, I don't know, Kiriana. Sorry, if I'm butchering your name there. But no, I think definitely the highlight for this week, if not Jod's little speech he gives to like save his life, is kind of, I'm hungry, and all of you are hungry, and then just kind of the lore that's built up, them singing the shanty.
Yeah,
I thought
that's cool.
That's
good.
That
shit.
scene, I don't know, that was nice.
Got some Urkel lines this week. That's cool. Jaleel White actually speaking up this week. Good old Steve Urkel there.
I keep forgetting that is Steve. He just looks so different now. I guess with, I don't know, just no glasses.
Being an adult too, that helps.
Yeah,
being like almost 40 years removed from Family Matters.
Damn, he's looking pretty good for
He looks great.
40
Yeah,
years on
I'm guessing he's 50 something. Yeah.
Wow. But I thought he was dead last episode. I thought, the acid, pour the acid back in.
Right.
He kind of gave a scream of like,
Hold up.
Silvo! And I'm like,
What
oh,
the
damn,
fuck
Gunter's
happened there?
dead as fuck.
How are they alive?
I have no clue. That one was just kind of breezed by. He lets out, even subtitles confirms it. It is him that yells Silvo right before, like, you hear people just dissolve. And yeah, I thought he was dead for sure. And then he's like, nope, I'm here, ready to take you hostage now. And I'm like,
that's kind of wild. I completely
God.
forgot about the acid thing. I thought that was kind of the end of their problems, and then this episode started and they were just right back in it, and I didn't even think of it. But okay, yeah, fuck it. We got a couple cool guest stars in these episodes. Kelly MacDonald plays Pocket, the bounty hunter who notifies them. She plays Merida in Brave, the Disney princess with the big red hair.
Okay.
That's a cool connection. She's the second actress to have voiced a Disney princess and gone on to play a bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe.
Wait.
The first was Ming-Na Wen. She originally voiced Mulan and went on to play Fennec Shand.
That's epic. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about Fennec until now either. So that's
she was
that's
Mulan.
Really cool.
And then we got Merida here with Kelly MacDonald playing Pocket, which is also a great name. Pokkit. Fucking love that.
Oh, yeah. The look, too. The design. I don't know, yeah. Popping off. I don't know. The voice was hitting. And now that it's
got the
Brave, that makes a whole lot of sense. Oh yeah, that's like perfect. I don't know. I hope she I don't know, comes back in some sort. I feel like they
well, and
like
they allude to some sort of new thing in this new age in the wake of the Bounty Hunters Guild. Like the Bounty Hunters Guild has kind of been disbanded. It sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, but has the Pirates Code kind of always always been a thing, or is it kind of the thing that's replacing the,
different entities. So I'm guessing the Pirate Code is a little more ancient, that's they don't seem like the type to develop new rules.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, because she does say, Pocket does say, like, I haven't even bothered to check the pucks here yet, or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I think maybe I guess I can't remember specifically what she says in episode 5, but she says that she's got like a private gig, like she's contracting for like somebody specifically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
So maybe that's why she's left the guild behind, but the guild is still operating and everything, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, but we see a Hutt, which is cool. He eats one of the servants. No, not again.
Again, dude? Yeah, I mean, did he get out of there? It didn't seem like he was getting out of that one.
It's just eat a man whole. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess.
I
don't know how
the Hutt digestive system works.
True. Damn, that poor dude. Yeah,
I got to imagine that you eat a living being in its entirety. Doesn't sit well with you. It's just kind of how I gotta guess.
It's just coming back up. Okay, yeah. I was like,
coming
I was
back
imagining
up,
what his
going
shits
straight
were
through.
Like.
Either way,
does he have shits? Yeah. Is like what is?
He just secretes the entity back out.
It's just he just slowly grows. They just absorb. Nothing ever actually comes out of Jabba. It just always absorbs, and he gets bigger, just over time. But yeah, I wonder what Hutt that was. I guess if it was any.
We got a few.
In the book
Is
of
that
Boba.
Jeremy Allen White there? Is that the bear?
Does he play a Hutt? Is that a?
He got cast in The Mandalorian and Grogu as Rata the Hutt. Stinky.
That's right. What
Stinky
the heck?
from the Clone Wars movie. He's going to voice him.
What a casting! I mean,
insane casting.
Yeah. Speaking of the voice actors, I guess here, I don't know. I just noticed SM33 just kind of. I don't think I've been appreciated him enough, and like I think now that he has his full memories back, he's full pirate mode, and I love like he's like. Anyone who enters that room faces something in slaughter. He just extends words and the R's like classic pirates and
he's good. He's good, man.
Yeah, good old Nick Frost. I wonder. Let's see. Anything
You've definitely
else?
heard his voice and seen him and stuff. He's been around the
Okay.
block.
Damn. Yeah, a lot. He's working. Dude's been working. Ice Age, Flint. Let's see. Oh, okay. I was like, no way. Is he like freaking? Oh, what's the main dude? The main sloth.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh my gosh. Fuck. He's not the
Sid?
main sloth. Sid. Thank you. He's Flynn. Whoever Flynn is in Ice Age.
I have no idea.
I
got
no
lucky
clue.
with Sid. Not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
don't even know how I remember that.
Knock that one on. I think Flynn might be the crazy like squirrel looking whatever that has the one acorn that always cracks the ice. Because that's at least he's shown up in all of those, but it's just the short of him. So I guess that's him. So he's got range. You know, he's a little squirrel and 33 here. I mean, I was trying to listen super close to the two voices and see if 33's was like the similar in that recording, and like even that, like it's still a stretch. Like
pretty thin.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue where it's going. I feel at least the one thing that feels like like it just kind of has to happen is Wim at least felt like the main character at the beginning of the show. And he's like, it's just kind of all of them are kind of the main characters now and not really Wim. But they had to like focus on him. And I guess, you know, he does have his moments with Jod and like sit downs and stuff. But whenever they were in their Wise Elders outfits, he was wearing
I love that.
The hat that he was wearing is the same as Takarinad's hat that is playing in the recording.
Oh, no kidding.
So and he at the end saying like, you know, claims he's on the new ship and everything, and like him, I think almost, you know, he was gonna challenge Jod there with a lightsaber, but didn't quite get to it. I feel like we're building to a moment of him challenge, you know, like by the Pirates Code, I challenge you to come. Right. Know, I think Wim will
David and Goliath
Jod.
Sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun.
And man, I still feel like Jod, like I was almost fully in that he was Force sensitive, but every single thing he picks up is metal. Everything. Not a single thing that he is for. The only thing was the tap, but like that could have just been like a metal panel, or I don't know. Like that's the only one that's still like a little whatever. But every single thing that the dude is forcing is just metal. And like, I don't know. I feel like there is still the possibility that it's just in his gloves or something. Like it is a tech sort of thing. But he is spitting so much Jedi. Like I don't know. They're
he
teaching.
Regurgitates a line. I feel like from the Phantom Menace at some point. There's a couple Phantom Menace references. Like Wim says, they can talk. That means they're intelligent. Which Qui-Gon directly refutes in the Phantom Menace with just because a being can talk does not mean he is intelligent. You know, that whole thing.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I thought because I think it is Qui-Gon. Whenever Jod is just saying, "Remember, your focus determines your reality."
Determines your reality. Like yeah. There's a couple Qui-Gon references.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. He seems so non-Jedi, but is saying like, no, get rid of your attachments. That's what I did. You know, just forget about them. Who cares? You know, and it's like. Initially, it's like your parents, whatever. But then he wrote some like your anxieties, your fears.
Like that's why
stuff,
I'm like, I don't think he was ever a Jedi. I still stand by that. I believe he's Force sensitive. I don't think it's a tech thing. I think it'd be kind of ridiculous to make two things in the stretch of a year and a half where they have a twist about a character that's the exact fucking same. That would just be so fucking dumb to me. Now. If that's what it is, like, okay. I do believe he's Force sensitive, though. I don't, however, nor have I ever believed he was a Jedi. The stuff he does regurgitate is really, really basic down the middle shit. The whole, like, let go of your attachments. Fuck it. It's over. That's a really, really blunted misunderstanding of what they mean by that. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I guess I just... They could be doing a thing where they are talking about the Jedi teachings and the problems that the Jedi teachings can do unto people, you know, like let go of your attachments. Does letting go of your attachments make you numb to the needs of people? Does it make your moral compass kind of disappear? Like if you're like, well, it doesn't matter, like I'm not attached to any of this, fuck it, I can be a pirate now. They could be doing that. I don't think they're doing that either. That's why I'm like, I think that my favorite theory I've had is that he is from At Attin. They were sheltered from the Republic. The Jedi couldn't find him. He got shunned off At Attin, and that's part of why he wants to make it back so bad.
Okay. Yeah. It feels there has to be something with Jod. I mean, the dude has so many different names. He never goes by his actual name, and I mean, would his actual name be a reveal itself? Like, there's no.
I mean, I can't.
Like, unless it's
imagine that's
Renan,
the case.
unless it's just like
Unless
Jod
it's literally
Renan,
him,
or
yeah,
like Junior or whatever. Like, I mean.
And even that I don't buy into, you know. That's why I'm like, there's a couple ideas I've had for like, oh, this is his actual name, but like they wouldn't mean anything to anybody besides me, you know. Like I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if he was, because we've gotten a couple like express Qui-Gon Jinn references, so I was like, what if he was fucking, oh, I can't even remember his name off the top of my head right now, but like Dooku's apprentice prior to Qui-Gon. What if that's this guy, you know?
I didn't. I guess I.
That's exactly. That's a person. That's a person that exists. Yeah, like that's in a book. That's why I'm like, it wouldn't mean anything to anybody though. That's why I'm like, it can't be that, because nobody would give a fuck. You know, like
I'm the apprentice to Dooku before Qui-Gon.
Exactly.
That's how they would have to spin it.
Exactly. Like they could just say his name, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's dope," but like nobody else would. People who've read Master and Apprentice would be like, "Oh, sick." But that's why I'm like, it's not that, you know, and that's why I'm like, I don't know that we are building towards any in-universe. Like, oh yeah, duh, saw that. I can't believe I didn't see that coming. Which is another thing that makes me go like, what are we building towards here in these last two episodes?
Qui-Gon, would he be grandfather? No, he'd be about a dad, I guess, to Jod. I don't know. If Qui-Gon had a secret kid somewhere,
I mean, he's not gonna,
but still,
that's not even gonna come close either. Like that's why I'm like, I don't think Qui-Gon actually has anything to do with this. I was just going with something that's like, we've gotten a couple of Phantom Menace references, fucking let's see what I can do there, and there's nothing that really makes sense. That's why I'm like, I don't know that it will be connected to anything we know, and I think it's more just going to be like, maybe we get some revelations about whether or not, you know, the Jedi knew about the Jewels of the Old Republic and kind of let them slide, or if the Sith knew about them, or like, I think that it's a more grand implication rather than a personal implication for a lot of these characters, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I'm still here again, asking the same question as how they're gonna wrap it up. Feels like there's just a lot kind of going on here. I guess
I'm actually at a point where
now.
Yeah, like at Attin, like that's where I'm like, I'm confident that we'll be able to, I guess usually when I'm at this point, I'm like, oh man, there's so much to do. How are we going to get it all done? I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't even know what we're going to do. And we're gonna wrap it up, you know. Like that's where I'm at. Like, it's not even like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to go back to At Attin, and then like beyond that, I have no idea what the fuck we have to do. You know, like I'm like, we'll see. So like, there's a certain excitement about that. You know, like I am very, very happy to be in the list. I have no idea what's going on, which is good. You know, I usually have a little bit more of a concrete feeling. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sitting pretty with it. I'm enjoying it a great deal. It's a lot of fun to watch every Tuesday night. It brings me a lot of comfort. It's a sweet show. But yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know. At least the shows before, and like Andor, Mando season 1, it just had like the magic feeling. Like, I don't know. It just had that feeling that you're just like, oh, I'm kind of watching.
I'm not gonna lie.
Here.
The first couple episodes of this had that juice, and it's lost it for me a little bit. Like it's not that it's like bad. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It kind of revealed itself to be more of the same. You know, like that's kind of how I feel about it. I felt like we were going in an exciting direction the first couple episodes. I was even still very optimistic after 3 and 4, and I'm still optimistic that it's a perfectly enjoyable show. You know, like I think I'm going to be fine with the ending. But I was confident after the first couple that I was watching the second best season since besides Andor. Yeah, you know.
That's
now
true.
I'm like,
they
no.
Yeah, they started off hot. And it's kind of a like they. And it's crazy that it is just going too fast. Like it's like it would
it's
just
breezing,
if this was
man.
12 episodes.
Quick.
I don't know if it was. If they just had more time to just sit with the kids, let Jod obviously not be the father, and like have people. I don't know. Like that's crazy that that's even thought of, even with what we have. Like I don't know. There's not enough. Things are just sprung up, and it's like, oh, okay, well, this is what we're doing, and could just be, you know, they are targeting more of a younger audience. I don't know, and it just more attention catching the things that are happening. But like with like them climbing up the ladder, jumping onto the garbage ship, and then just steering, like it was just kind of like, okay, cool, like this is badass, sick. Cool, sick kid adventure. But I'm like, okay, well, I guess, you know, we're out of it. They're in the ship, you know, a little trash compactor. I guess, you know, fun. A way worse trash compactor, I think, than what we got in A New Hope. Yeah, but man, we got the reveal of, you know, kind of cocoon, like, you know, I feel like a butterfly kind of spreading its wings for the first time here. And I don't know, pretty never done in Star Wars, you know, pretty like they're doing stuff that is kind of like, damn, I've never seen that in Star Wars before.
I think it's a lot of fun, you know. I do think it's a lot of fun. I don't want to sound like there's nothing redeeming about it, because there's plenty of fun here. I love these kids too. I think they're doing an incredible job. I think it's really, really cute. I've thought that more often than not, it's been surprisingly good looking. Probably the best a show in Star Wars has looked since Andor. So there's, I got live action, you know, got to give it credit where it's due there, you know, like, and so I guess more than anything, I'm just, I'm upset that they're not letting television be television, you know, like, let the shit ride, let it ride a little bit, shorten the episodes if you want, but make more episodes then, you know, like, if I think that this should be a 15 episode, 20-minute episodes. I think that would be so fucking sick, you know, like, and 25-minute episodes. Let it ride.
Oh, yeah. And with kids, it's interesting is like if they want to do a season 2, how much are they going to grow in between? Like just in real life?
Nightmare.
Like are they
nightmare stuff?
Yeah, and it's like
Stranger
like,
Things is obviously having a fucking. They're playing 16-year-olds and they're 30, you know, and they're obviously adults, like
So I mean, if they want to do a season 2, I mean, is there, I don't know, like what the kids look like now, if or how long ago, if they really would change that much. But I wonder if like a time jump would be necessary, you know. It's like, well, they're obviously not the same age as they once were, so we're gonna have to do something here to go from season 1 to 2. But I mean, my only prediction really for the end is that like they actually just keep this ship, and like they realize that their home is not really their home, you know. I don't know. I feel like they'll go back see their parents and stuff.
They go off and be the skeleton crew, you know. That's I kind of anticipate the same. I think they're gonna go off and kind of do their thing, you know. I think that maybe the whole parent side of it does add a complication, you know, like because it's not like they're adults. It's not like, well, it's like time you moved on. No, like they're like straight up children. So like. I also wouldn't blame them one bit if they stuck around at home for a little bit, you know. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I am curious though. Maybe they are going to bring some fundamental change to At Attin. Maybe At Attin's not so closed, and you know. But like, if we do all that, we got 2 fucking episodes. How's that? You know, like that's why I'm like,
they have to do this. I hope that they shoot the barrier and it goes down, and then everyone just sees the sky for the first time, and then they're just like, what the fuck? They're like, wait, what the and just. I don't know. I hope that's the spark of everything, is just a reveal of there are billions of there's not 4 or whatever they learn in school. I mean, they knew of Alderaan and I guess of, I don't know, of some things. So it's like they know that planets and stuff are out there, but like
they knew of Coruscant and
But whenever, I mean, whenever Fern was like, those are like they were in disbelief. They were like, there's no fucking way.
Well, I mean, it was fucking Wim who was like, what are those? Like they literally had no idea what they were looking at, so that's why I'm like, that would be really cool. I would appreciate that a lot. I like that the beginning of episode 5 brought us a little bit of that, the parents working together behind the scenes to try to figure out a way to speak to the supervisor and all that. So like, and see, these are the things that I think we could we'd benefit from a little bit more time with them.
Yeah. Like, like KB's parents being like, no, she needs like her whatever, whatever microchip or like, I don't know, just saying like more worries from their parents would be nice. And then we'd worry more for KB. And then, I don't know, like every parent would have their worry for each kid. And I feel like it would just, benefit from just a little more time with these, I don't know, with everyone, but I don't know, we're hitting all the crucial story elements, so I'm not like upset while I'm watching. It is exciting.
No, not at all.
It's
and that's why I'm like, I only ever start to like really poke holes in it whenever we talk about it. Like that's, never while I'm watching am I like, oh, I don't like this, because I don't not like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do like it. It's a lot of fun. It's just that we get on a microphone and we talk about it afterwards, and sometimes that reveals the way I feel to me. And like I said, I'm not disliking it. But I'm also, I don't think I'm loving it anymore the way that I was whenever it started. I think I am falling into a little bit more of a just, oh yeah, it's solid, which is kind of how I've come to feel about most things that we've put out on Disney Plus.
It's just not the best model, not the best business model. And, I don't know. It's showing that it just can't work given this much time. I don't know. This many shows, this much time. You need the magic somewhere, and it's, I don't know. They need to be a little more scarce and a little more thoughtful of everything that's put out, instead of just kind of hoping and wishing that something's gonna stick and solve their subscription problems out of nowhere.
It's like that's completely unfeasible too. Like when it comes to Star Wars, I don't know, the people who have Disney Plus to watch Star Wars have Disney Plus to watch Star Wars. You're not reeling anybody in with something new anymore. Like, that's just not going to happen. I guess I don't know what the goal is. Like, if your goal is to grow subscriptions, I don't know, the way you're going to do that also isn't Star Wars. Like, that's just, that's just the case. That's why I'm like, I guess I don't know what business decision, like, I don't even know what goal you have as a business at this point. When it comes to making this stuff, which is why I'm like, I think that none of this should be business decisions. It should be artful decisions. And like, that's why I'm like, trying to bring business into an inherently bad business model. I don't know. It just, nobody's made it work yet. Nobody's made it work.
Star Wars is what? How many? Like, what percentage of Disney is Star Wars? Like it's a big purchase and whatever for them, but it's like still under 10%, if that, of Disney. Like like maybe 5% of Disney, and like they're like, well, if Star Wars isn't doing well, then that means Disney Plus at large isn't doing well, and we can't
what
continue.
Does that? How do you?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Man. Yeah, they're a lot. I don't know. The logic is flawed somewhere along the line, but. Yeah, I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I can't be too angry that we're getting just overloaded with content, but I don't know. At the same time, it'd be kind of nice to not have these feelings.
There are so many Star Wars fans who grew up and lived between the years of 1983 and 1999 and are like, you spoiled fucking brats. You don't know what it was like for the 16 years that we didn't have anything and we didn't think we were going to get anything. And it was that forever, like, but dude, scarcity makes stuff special. Taylor Swift once said in a song, familiarity breeds contempt. And it does. It's a good line. She can write some shit.
This is true. It is too Star Wars is too regular. Like it is.
She
it is not a
ironically
galaxy far, far
immediately
away.
did not follow her own words there and put out like 7 albums in 2 years. And obviously bred contempt as she's one of the most hated people alive again.
Yeah. I mean,
Not saying that she deserves to be by any stretch of the imagination, but she just like ask any football fan alive if they like Taylor Swift, and most of them will be like, "Fuck no, I don't like Taylor Swift. Stop showing her on my damn TV while I'm watching my Chiefs games."
That's very true. I don't know how many. I've heard that exact sentence. I don't know how many. times.
From everybody, and I'm like, grow the fuck up. She is the most famous person alive. Like they're gonna show her on a fucking TV. I don't know. Regardless, no, but like that's real shit though. I think that scarcity breeds that love that you feel for movies and for franchises and stuff. You know, like
we watched
Marvel,
just the prequels and just the original trilogy over and over and over again.
Years.
We didn't need anything else. Like we had our toys and we had the movies.
And it was like, man, I hope that we get this one day. And then we got the movies, and it was like, fuck yeah, you know.
Damn.
And you know, this was before I watched Clone Wars. I hadn't watched Rebels. Obviously, those existed, but like
that's true. Yeah.
Until 2019, it was just the movies, Clone Wars and Rebels. And the same thing happened with Marvel, you know? Like when do you typically start to go, when did Marvel start to fall off?
Endgame.
Right after Endgame, man. And you could argue that they were getting oversaturated right before that.
Even before, a little.
There's still like, and they're finally getting back to a place where I don't feel like there's a new Marvel thing every fucking week, which is good. They just need to figure out how to make them good. The
Disney problem. I don't know. So at least they figured out with Marvel that they have to be a little more scarce. And they're hopefully focusing on quality. I hope they kind of do the same with Star Wars.
I hope they do with Star Wars too. Well, and it's just really discouraging when you if they'd never made anything good, it'd be one thing. You know, if I was like, man, you're just failing continuously. That's a rough break. You're never going to be able to figure this out. They've made some genuinely great fucking stuff for Star Wars on Disney Plus. The first couple seasons of Mandalorian are great. Andor is great. The Bad Batch is great. There is some fantastic stuff for Disney Plus Star Wars there. And you know, I think that there's just a sort of middling thing that they want to do where The Acolyte was a really big swing. I respected that was, it seemed like they wanted to do something that was going to branch out a little bit, but then they immediately pussied out. You know what I'm saying? Like they immediately folded under pressure from the wrong people and were like, yeah, we're not going to make any more of that.
Yeah, it is not a good situation that we're in, I guess, right now. But hopefully like 10 years down the line, you know, all of this will leave this, you know, no one will know these details of what happened in the middle, and maybe kids will just be like, oh my god, Skeleton Crew is like my favorite shit ever.
100%.
And, you know,
and that's why, like, ultimately, that's the other thing, is that there are kids out there who are falling in love with this, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and it's easy. It teaches you Star Wars. It's like, oh, those are X-Wings. Those are the good guys. Like, it's like they're putting it in just very, like, basic terms. That's like, yeah, okay. Look, if a kid started here, kind of a really good introduction into Star Wars. It's like,
it'd be a great
those
starting
kids look
point.
just like me. And yeah, so, I mean, I think it's, I don't know. Over time, when the kids grow up, and the kids who loved this show from the very beginning, and this is their introduction to Star Wars, and you know, Acolyte may be the same, you know, like it's there's so much just cluster around the Acolyte, but then in 10 years, there's going to be those people that are like, it got me into Star Wars, and it it was the first thing I ever watched, and it's going to be beautiful for them. I don't know, and that's it's nice that can still happen.
No, for sure. Yeah, and I think Skeleton Crew is absolutely doing that for, I'm sure, a great population of children. But yeah, man, and like I said, I am digging it. I am having fun every week. I do turn it on as close to start time as I can, and it's a great time. So like, I am having a better time than I'm not. My frustrations are more with the corporate side of things than they are with the literal creative side of things, because you can tell there's a lot of love and there's a lot of passion for this story, which I think is really, really good. And I'm having a good time. So Yeah, I think with that, we can do the plugs, and then we will do trivia and get the fuck out of here. So, we've got a couple things going on. The Cinementalists is ongoing every Friday right now, and we are about to start our top 100 favorite movies of the 20s. The 2020s, we're halfway through now, as it's New Year's Day of 2025. We've done 5 years of the 20s. We got 5 years left. How about a little halftime heat check on the film side of things? We're going to dive in there. Part 1 and 2 are this Friday. Part 3 and 4 are actually next Wednesday, because my birthday's next Friday, and we're going to be covering Willow, a little Lucasfilm connection there for you. So if you're a Star Wars fan and you've never watched Willow, you need to watch Willow. You will love Willow. It's a great time. And we're covering it next Friday on The Cinementalists. So you got to be there. And we'll be back in 2 weeks here on Fulcrum to cover the last 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew. And I cannot wait. But let's go ahead and do some trivia. All right.
Okay.
So, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I guess if that's cool. It's
That's
kind of
fine
more
with me.
this. It only includes. I thought that it at first included all 9, kind of from sequel to sequel, or prequel to sequel, but it only includes the prequel trilogy and original trilogy. It possibly could include the sequels as well, but I have not confirmed it. So at least your answers are confined to there.
To the prequels and originals.
Yes, it is one of those movies is the answer. And so, but the question is, every single Star Wars movie opens up by panning up, or panning down. It starts in space and it pans down onto a planet or something. Usually, there is a singular movie out of these that pans up. The only one to pan up at the very beginning of the movie. I'm wondering which movie this is.
Okay, let me think about it. I know it's not the first one. Pretty confident it's not the first one. I don't think it's any of the original trilogy. I want to say Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, final answer?
Yes.
All right. It was Attack of the Clones. Sadly, number 2, or however you want to, whatever number we're at. But it's, I guess it doesn't seem like there's any particular reason. It's just we're already starting on Coruscant instead of in space. I guess it's just showing Padme's ship, I guess, fly over Coruscant, I think, is the opening of Attack of the Clones.
Right, yeah, they got the
ship
ship spinning and stuff. Okay.
So, but yeah, I guess I feel like The Force Awakens, or maybe I'm thinking of
Rogue One.
Definitely one sequel. It starts definitely in space, and then like a Star Destroyer goes by, and then I think it pans up, though. If I'm thinking, I don't know which movie I'm thinking of. Maybe that is Rogue One, actually. Yeah. But I don't know.
Rogue One starts with the rings around a planet, in the similar way that it looks like a ship typically passes over, but it's the rings of the planet that Jyn and Galen are hit out on.
Okay.
So maybe Rogue. I don't know, but Rogue One just kind of pops open. It doesn't really. But then it does have to pan in one way or the other. So I don't know, but. Okay. Attack the Clones.
I wonder if it extends to the sequels. I have no clue. I'll next time I run through the sequels,
I'll have to check it
I guess
out.
I might
I'll
pay
check it
attention
out.
to the little opening. But yeah, that's Attack the Clones. The only one to do it out of the
That makes sense. I can kind of see it in my head now. Fresh off the crawl, it goes up, and then the ship flies over, and okay, I can see it. And then they do the spinny thing. Yeah. All right, I can see it. Attack of the Clones. All right, since it is the new year, I wanted to do something pertaining to years, number of years.
Shit.
Canonically on screen. And I'm not talking books, I'm not talking video games, I'm not talking any of that stuff. Movies and TV shows. From the farthest point back in the timeline to the furthest part forward in the timeline. How many years has the Star Wars saga covered? And this is just me thinking of what I'm fairly certain is the earliest and what I am certain is the latest.
Okay. Wow. Okay, let's see. So earliest point in time on screen. Let's see. Is it Phantom Menace? Do we have anything before the Phantom Menace on screen? Let's see. TV show. Mando after. Boba after. Andor after. Bad Batch. Yeah, Is it Phantom Menace? Is that really true? Rebels, no. Bad Batch, no. Clone Wars, no. Okay. So I feel Rogue One, no. Solo, no. Okay. So Phantom Menace 2. And then would it be Rise of Skywalker? Or, let's see, do we have anything post that event? Probably no. Okay, so it is just from movie to movie then, if I'm correct on that. Timeline-wise. Oh, frick. Okay, I know, like, Mandoverse is like, what, 25 or something BB, like, after the Battle of Yavin, something like that. So if we're prequel era, Clone Wars, it's going to be a rough estimate.
Yeah, and I've got a range for you. I'm not going to give you the range because then you might get an idea of
that's true
how long it is.
Or hundreds
exactly,
or
exactly.
Gotcha.
So I have the range in my head, and I will be forgiving with the range, but I'm not going to give it to you yet.
My gut takes me to around 80-ish is like my that's where the middle kind of feels like, but that might actually feel like a little too much. Possibly. It feels like we're just like 3 generations, 3 people that we've seen grow up and get old. About 20, maybe like 77 is just what I don't know. My final answer is what I'll lock in.
All right, 77. If you had accounted for what is actually the oldest thing in the franchise,
There's
the Acolyte.
Before? Oh, shit. Oh, no. Duh. That is so...
If you had accounted for that taking place roughly 100 years before the Phantom Menace, you would have fallen into my range.
Okay.
You fell quite outside of it. It's 183.
Okay.
But if you would have accounted for the Acolyte, maybe you would have ended back at around 177 and you would have been in the range. The furthest point back in the Acolyte, the flashback episodes of the Acolyte specifically, take place, according to Wikipedia, 148 BBY.
Wow.
And The Rise of Skywalker takes place 35 ABY. So 148 years plus 35 years equals 183 years. So that's just according to what I can think. I'm fairly certain the Acolyte's the earliest, and I know The Rise of Skywalker is the latest. We don't have anything post Episode 9 right now.
Earliest? Yeah, damn. I can't. Duh. Now that it's just out there, it's the Acolyte. But yeah, I don't think definitely there'd be anything older than that. I mean, maybe in the video, like
that's why I'm like, there's the Old Republic and all that stuff. I'm talking canon. On screen.
Yeah, damn.
What we've seen, it's covered 183. It spanned 183 years. So yeah.
Wow. And not without the Acolyte, I thought I'd be even off on just my from Phantom Menace to The Rise of Skywalker. I thought I'd even be off on that, but even I don't know, 80 kind of. I guess like. I guess I don't know. Even though I didn't get the point, I'm more satisfied.
It's a spiritual win. Yeah, you were on the right track had you accounted for something else. Yeah. No, for sure. Okay. I get it. I get it. But I think with that, we can conclude this episode of Fulcrum. And like I said, we'll be back very soon here in a couple of weeks with the last couple episodes of Skeleton Crew. And with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, for light and life.